Couples who have moved in together. What surprised you most about living with a male/female? Apparently the cat I raised, since she was a kitten, and loved more than life itself, is more than willing to abandon me and love someone else much more in a blink of an eye. Take turns feeding it. Cats are very receptive to who is feeding them. My father feeds the cats, and they spend more time with him. When I visit my parents I spend time feeding them, and they orbit me more, to the point where my father has mentioned how the cats are happy I'm here. No. I mean, yes, maybe, I don't know, but more importantly they're happy I give them food. Same when my sister visits them and feeds the cats. I feed the cat, boyfriend gets the cuddles. If you and your partner are in different rooms, one of them will randomly decide to just check in by opening the door, smile and then going back to their separate room, then leaving the door open. Learning that there's a wrong way to fold towels apparently. He peed in the sink. That's all. My husband will take the dog for a wee out back before bed, and I'm pretty sure he pees off the edge of the deck in solidarity, or maybe just to remind the dog it's his house. My fiancé once told me that peeing off high places is a natural instinct for men. Whoever pees the highest wins. That's the game, he said. If Neil Armstrong pissed on the moon when he was there, he would have been knighted when he got here. How different our versions of clean are. Yes, my husband is far cleaner than I am. I'm totally fine with a mess. It's something we are still working on after living with each other for 12 years. That your partner may follow you around the house just because. Please, stop following me. I'm not following you. Then what did you come in this room to do? I don't have to explain myself to you. You're not my supervisor. I was told that we would start arguing and being miserable. It ended up feeling like a super awesome constant sleepover. Don't let people scare you into not moving in with a significant other if that is what you both want. I remember moving into my first share house and there was a couple living there. One day we were all in the kitchen and she spilled some rice. I had never been in a relationship, yet in my immediate reaction was, oh shit, here comes the anger, yelling and heated arguing. Instead they laughed and cleaned up together. It was eye-opening to see that normal people don't explode into argument over little things. She's good at playing Tetris and very organized. I was living with my parents since I traveled for work and only made it home 1 or 2 weekends a month. She moved in with me at my parents' house. We had one room to store stuff. My bedroom we bought things we'd need when we moved out, when we saw a deal too good to pass up, and she stored them. I realized she was good when we had to make 4 trips to get all our stuff out. 4 trips. This girl had boxes inside boxes inside boxes. She utilized every inch available in our room to stack items. We just bought a house and still have some boxes left to unpack. I will call her at work and say something like, hey, do you remember that blue paper clip I like to use? I can't find it. She will tell me which room, which box, what container, and what is beside it, just in case I still can't find it. The hair, man. It gets everywhere. Rest in peace the shower drain. And the sink. And the fucking vacuum cleaner. I can rebuild a vacuum cleaner now. This was a skill I never needed until I moved in, platonically, with 2 girls who had waist-length hair. Week later my vacuum died, and I found what appeared to be a small animal choking the roller brush to death. You keep pulling hair out of the bag like it's handkerchiefs coming out of a clown's pocket. A lot of it's been mentioned. Bobby pins everywhere, hair everywhere. She was not a clean person. I did the cleaning. But one thing that hasn't been mentioned is just the sheer amount accessories that she had. Tons of makeup and beauty products. A vanity full of it. Plus more. Lots of clothes. Tons of clothes she didn't wear. I need to get bobby pins. I'm out. No you're not. Go to literally any spot of the house and look down. The clothes thing bothers me more than anything, tbh. The whole closet is her clothes. All but one drawer of the dresser is her clothes. Her favorite thing to wear? My shirts. The true shock for me was the sheer amount of time my husband spends in the laboratory. Prior to the invention of smartphones, many of us kept a small library of bathroom reading material for just this reason. How often I'd be helping her find her car keys. Eventually, I put up a hook that I was able to get her in the habit of using. made me tear up a little at the time, but a couple weeks after we split I remember getting a text from her that said, "I miss being able to find my keys. If it makes you feel better I put one up a year ago and my fiance still won't use it. Ah crap, I lost my keys. Ah geez, I sure wish I had put something on the wall for that." How specific I have to be when giving instructions to do something. Like instead of saying wash the sheets, I have to say wash and dry the sheets and pillowcases, and put new sheets on the bed. This is exactly what it is like being a programmer. The classic joke is a wife tells her husband, a programmer, go to the store and buy a loaf of bread. And if they have eggs, get a dozen. The husband drives to the store and comes back with 12 loaves of bread. What the hell is this? The wife asks. They had eggs. The programmer replied. I always knew women went through toilet paper faster than men, but I never knew how much faster they did. It got to the point I'd just grab a pack of toilet paper whenever I went to the store for any reason. We may not be out at home, but we will be soon I reckoned, and I was never wrong about that. You are supposed to get the giant mega pack of like 36 rolls. I didn't know people bought 4 packs, except to travel with. I always thought of women as tidy and organized. That was until I moved in with one. I swear I spent 20 minutes a day helping my significant other tidy up the mess she creates in the first hour every morning. Then another 10 minutes every day searching for brushes, hairbands, makeup, clothes etc. Definitely the food. I'd eat ramen and canned foods all the time when I was living alone. Now I get spoiled with home cooked food. The best part though is she's been teaching me to cook. I love our cooking school sessions after work. No matter how long you've been together or have known each other, you truly don't know the person. I still love my husband dearly, but I wish he knew what the laundry hamper is. My husband knows what one is. It's the thing right next to his pile of dirty clothes. My wife has really long beautiful hair. I was not prepared to find that all in my butt and crotch regions as often as I do. I could never be prepared to have one stuck in my ass and have to pull it out like some mangy dog. I've never felt more violated or unclean than when I felt those hairs basically floss my lower GI tract. Somehow I swallowed a few, and passing them is a really disgusting feeling. She has told me that hasn't happened to her too, which makes it weirder. My ex-wife had really long hair, and I was constantly pulling 3-foot long strands out of my mouth. The worst was a maddening itch in my eye that I kept rubbing and rubbing until I realized I was pulling a hair out of my eye socket. Inch after inch I pulled out, feeling it tugging from under my eyeball. How the frick did it get in there? It's no mystery. The stuff is just everywhere. For me, how subtle the need for alone time crept up on me. I wasn't unhappy in the slightest, and moving in was natural. But over time I felt myself becoming irritable, and it turned out that I tend to get that way when I don't have time to myself, because I went from being alone in my room after work in my parents' house to being around my significant other pretty much every minute I'm not at work or driving. So I found myself with someone almost 24/7, and it took a toll. Thankfully once I recognized that, it was easier to manage. Everything has a decorative pillow on it. They are too small to be used for anything, and I'm not allowed to throw them on the floor or pile them all on one chair. The bed has a bunch, and a long tube thing. I'm not allowed to whack her with the tube thing. Where did these come from? Why do we need them? If they are just in the way, can we put them in storage? No? Okay, babe, whatever you want. Seriously, what are we supposed to do with the tube thing? Hit people with it and wave it around like it's a giant dingus? I've got 2 moves, and both are big no-nos apparently. The lightsaber and the helicopter. How much I actually talk to myself. I never had any roommates, aside from one for like the first 2 weeks in college, before I got moved to a single room, so I was used to just talking to myself out loud like nothing. After we moved in together, and she kept asking, who are you talking to? And did you say something? I realized that I actually talk to myself quite a bit. I didn't realize that I'll just say things out loud that humor me, or I find interesting. Like driving down the road and I see a funny license plate, I'll just say it out loud. My significant other started laughing and asked why I was saying like one-word phrases randomly. I asked my brother about it, and he was like, yeah, you've always done that. I have never observed my wife put a bobby pin in her hair. I have found thousands of bobby pins in our house. I built a sunroom out of bobby pins and elastic hairbands. The new extra carport is coming along nicely. She works from home, but the television never leaves. Bravo. I leave for work. Bravo. Come home. Bravo. Go on the elliptical. Bravo. 24 freaking hours of these catty women, and sometimes men, yelling at each other. Bravo. Always being on is like the only thing we fight about, which is probably a good thing, but Jesus Christ, always with the bravo. Even when I entertain her and say, what show is this? Oh, Southern Charm. I don't really watch that show. Well, guess what? I've seen 50 episodes of Southern Charm passively when I come home, and I know you've done 20x that. God damn it, I hate Bravo. I'm getting a divorce.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day, peace. My sprinkler goes like this. And goes back like